Hey, Greg here, and this is a tutorial of the Synth Sampler on the OP-1. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to use the Synth Sampler, and to teach you how to use it, I will be sampling the Yamaha Portasound PSS 140 keyboard. There's a lot of fun sounds in it. Someone gave it to me for free, which was very nice of them. They saw I was having fun with it, and they found it on the street, apparently. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you do, I would appreciate it if you consider subscribing, and I'm trying to make 1 or 2 videos a week. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to get any sound you want from an external source and turn it into a keyboard on your OP-1. So let's say a note from a guitar, a note from another keyboard, which I'm going to be doing today, or really anything you want, any sound, you can have it pitched across the keyboard. So first what you're going to do is you want to get into the Synth Sampler engine. So you go to your synthesizer, and then you press Shift and then any preset, and you can just pick any sample-based synth that is in the OP-1. So we can just pick this one. Don't worry, you won't be overwriting anything. I'm just going to make sure that everything's pretty much set to a baseline. And now all you have to do to start sampling is press the mic key. So right now I've got my keyboard here plugged into the OP-1's mic input, and once I hit the microphone here, you can see it's online. So to change what the input is, you use the blue encoder. So you could even sample the radio if you wanted. And anyway, so we've got it set to line. So I've got my keyboard here, line in. So right now, if I play a note on here, you'll be able to hear it on the OP-1. And you can see when I'm playing, you can see the level of the input. And you use this orange encoder to boost the gain of your input. Or you can make it quieter. You can see it also says trig there, and that is for trigger. And that's this white encoder. So depending on where you have it, it will take a certain amount of volume to trigger the sample to start. So you can also see it says press a key to sample. So let's say if I press the C key and I have my trigger all the way to the top, so we know that the volume's not going to reach there, I can press it. It will never trigger the sample because I have my trigger set too high. If I lower it to the bottom, the second any sound is coming in, it will trigger it. Depending on what you're sampling, you want to adjust the trigger and the volume to the right point so that you can get the sample when you want it to start. So let's say if your guitar has a little bit of hum and or like if I really turn the gain up, you can see that I've got a little bit of hum coming out of the keyboard. So if I press this, it immediately starts recording, but that's not necessarily what we want. So you could make the trigger go up higher so it won't start recording until a note's being played. But in my case, I'm going to put this back to 0. I'm going to set the trigger back to the bottom because it will not trigger it unless I have pressed a note, because I don't have any line noise or anything like that, and I don't have any attack that I am planning on filtering out. So all you have to do to take a sample is press any key on the OP-1, and once volume starts going in, it will start the sample. And one thing you want to be able to play your sample out on the keyboard properly. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, let's say you're using a keyboard or any instrument, if you want to sample to the C key, you want to play a C. Whatever note you play will be sampled to whatever key you sample it to. So if I play a C and sample it to a C, then my keyboard will be pitched correctly. But I could also sample a D to my D key, and it will still be sampled correctly. Okay, so I've got a pretty funny sample here that's going to make it easy for me to explain sample points. So it's called Fireworks. Now that I have a sample, I'm going to show you what the encoders do. So the blue encoder adjusts the start point of the sample. The green encoder adjusts the start loop point of the sample. The white encoder adjusts the end loop point of the sample. So I'll show you what that means right now. Let's say if I move these loop points right here, it'll be very obvious where it's looping. So if you move these apart, and if you can hear that it changes, if you leave them at the start and the end, it'll take the whole 6 seconds of the sample and then it will loop back to the start. And then when you have these adjusted, the orange encoder adjusts where the sample will decay to once you let go. It'll decay out though based on your envelope. So the second page in your synth is your envelope. So if I have a lot of decay on my envelope, then it will decay all the way out till the end. So you can play with your sample that way to decide how it's going to be. And then there are also more controls when you press shift. So for shift, you've got the blue one, adjusts the playback direction of your sample, which you can see changing here. This adjusts the gain of your sample after you've already taken it. The green one all it will do, you can see it's moving very quickly here. This allows you to very slowly and exactly change your loop points. So you can barely see them moving, but I promise you they are. It's that precise. So yeah, now you've got a sample, and it's really easy to do. And you can also sample anything you want. So you can use the microphone to sample, which I'm going to show you next. So let's just pull this line out. And if I go to the sampler now, you can see it's on microphone. And this is where it gets useful to use the trigger. Because you can hear right now there's enough noise that it will trigger the sample. But if I set the trigger higher, it won't just trigger. So I'm going to try and sing a C. I kind of suck at this kind of stuff. But I'll show you how you can use the microphone even. So I just sampled my voice. You can also sample the radio.
Definitely not. Come here. Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not.
And this is one thing I wanted to show you too. You can see how when you really cut a sample down short, you can end up with some really unexpected results. You can also sample back from the tape. So if I wanted to, I could just go to the tape, which I have a loop on. I could go to my synth, and I could sample from the tape. So you have all the same sample methods as the drum sampler, but you can turn anything into an instrument. You can turn anything into an instrument.
You can turn anything into an instrument.
So the synth sampler is a really fun way to be creative with your sound design. I use it a lot in a lot of my videos. That's how I've made myself a sample pack. And I don't think there's a single video or song I've made on the OP-1 where I haven't used the synth sampler. And if I wanted to, you can also use the effects, the LFO, you can adjust the play mode, and maybe in a future video, I'll take you guys through further synth parameters. But anyway, I hope this helps. I hope I can edit this together into a slightly cohesive tutorial. Yeah, so I think it's a little bit more of a beginner tutorial, but let me know what you guys want to learn in future videos, and I'll try my best to teach you guys in a way that's easy to understand and easy to see. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you learned something. Please let me know what you would like me to cover next. I'm going to try and make all sorts of topics of tutorials so that it's easy for you guys to find different things that you might want to do on your OP-1. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.